Wesley.
Brian.
Does anybody call you Wesley?
It's funny that you say that because I was literally complaining to my wife about this earlier today. Like, I'm starting to get all these emails now from GDC, right? And I registered at GDC as Wes Dylan, what I go by.
Uh-huh.
But half of the emails these people are sending me start with, "Hello, Wesley."
Wow.
Like they know my mom or something. My mom calls me that. My grandmother. No one else in the world. So I guess yes is the technical answer, but no is the practical one.
Well, Wesley. Boy, do we have a show for you today, Wesley? I'm just going to fucking say it nonstop. Does it bother you?
No, not really. I just thought it was weird.
Okay.
It's kind of weird. Like, I'm 45 years old, dog. You can call me Wesley? Really?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like as people get older, they stop using nicknames so much and start using their full name. Yeah.
And then call me Glenn. That's my actual first name.
All right. Mr. Danzig, it is. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. There's no funnies before the show. Let's start this fucker.
Let's go.
This is PSVR GAMESCAST Live. We film live every single, Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Wise Friday right here on PSVR with Parole. We do it live for your viewing pleasure. 6 p.m. Eastern, video style. That's what YouTube's good for. But if you don't like watching us live, that's all right, man. We don't get too bent out of shape about things like that. We don't get our feelings hurt that easily. Although if you look at the comment section, people are fucking trying. That said, we do this thing on podcast services of your choice. Yes, that includes Spotify. Thanks to our good friend Demeo. And if you think we talk too much? Do you think we talk too much? Well, then, boy, you tuned into the wrong show. But if you think we talk too much and you just want to get to the topics that pertain to you, our good friend Sci-Fi GameCat Henry gets all the timestamps into this sucker after the show is over. My name is Brian Pavlov from this channel right here, PSVR with Parole, and joining me this Wednesday and every Wednesday, it's Wesley Dillon from Virtual Strangers. What's going on, Wes?
What's up, Brian? Wes, thank you. You got it right the second time. What's up, man? You know what's up. It's Wednesday, man. You know what I love about Wednesday is that it doesn't matter how busy my life gets, how many prior engagements and bullcrap I've got to work on throughout the week. This is my day. This is VR day. I'm playing VR today. That's all I'm doing other than talking to the Game Cats about it. So, yeah, I love this day. It's my favorite day of the week.
It's pretty good, man. I do have to say that, I've said this before in GamesCast. I probably say it all the time, is that so little of my job actually has anything to do with playing video games. Like I play a game, capture a bunch of footage, and then for the next 4 days straight, I have to sit here and write scripts and edit video and do all the boring stuff. And so with PSVR2 here, it's kind of like I don't feel like I'm doing my job all that much because I get to actually sit around and play video games quite a bit. And then when you and I decided what we were going to do on today's show, we were like, let's just play a game and talk about it. I was like, that's a brilliant idea. That means I get to play a game. And so I'm really, really excited that we get to do this today, Wes. And I'm excited for you to be here, of course. But, man, since I got you, spotlight's on you and all. What's going on over there on Virtual Strangers? The VR agnostic channel.
I think we're tonight is going to be very much a kind of continuation of themes that I'm sure we're going to touch upon during today's episode of the GamesCast. We're doing 3 games like we typically do. All of them, though, this week are Quest ports. So we're kind of exploring this avenue of, what does PSVR2 mean for games that we already had, games we've already played, games that we liked, or maybe we kind of liked, or maybe we didn't like so much. I think all the ones tonight, though, we liked pretty well. Obviously, Galaxies Edge, I'm going to get Eric and Roots' thoughts on that one. But we're also going to talk some about Demeo, and we're going to talk about Runner, all of which are known for their Quest versions. So, we're doing the direct comparison this week.
No Tentacular? No tentacular on this week's episode. I'm bummed out, man. I'm not fucking tuning in. You guys really screwed the pooch on this one.
No What the Bat, no Tentacular, no Garden of the Sea. What can I say? Those games epitomize the Quest platform.
Yeah.
I hear.
I want to play all of those games. I cannot wait to play all those games. But man, just taking down the big boys first has been a little bit time consuming. Professor Lilith in the chat with a $5 tip says, "Hey Game Cats, vote in the Discord to decide the March 12th Sunday multiplayer. Rank choice voting. Demeo, Gran Turismo 7, Tetris, and Synthriders." Whew. Man, there's so many good games to play, dude. So many good games to play suddenly. Pretty awesome. So guys, if you don't know what the deal is, I don't know what PSVR2 lobbies are looking like. Like if you just go into a public match, if it's not cross-platform, like I don't know how busy those servers are. I can't think of any. Wes, are there any PSVR2 games that that aren't crossplay, multiplayer?
Okay, so let's think about this. I don't think so, man. I think none come to mind. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I think that's odd, right? Because it was kind of unheard of at the launch of the last generation, right? Like It was kind of a big deal for even flat games to kind of have crossplay functionality on PlayStation. But yeah, it just seems like a normal thing now.
I mean, you don't think this is a coincidence, right? Like that, just had to have, like the times have changed or blah, blah, blah. To me, this says Sony realized, like, and people are putting out games on our platform, and if we don't have crossplay, then these games are becoming very quickly irrelevant.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a big deal, right? I mean, especially for a VR game, but if you're a company that's releasing a multiplayer only game into VR, I mean, that is dangerous, man, because you have to pretty much hit with the majority of the community to keep your lobbies full. And that's kind of the first thing that everyone gauges a multiplayer game on, is how easy it's for me to get a game.
Yeah.
So yeah, crossplay is a big deal, especially for VR.
Yeah, we've talked about people in the chat are reminding me that Pavlov is not yet crossplay, but will be soon.
It isn't.
Interesting. So it's we talk about all the different things that PSVR2 does better than PSVR1, and this is going to be one of the unsung benefits of having PSVR2 over PSVR1 is that there's just more crossplay across the board, which is nice. That being said, the point of this conversation was that Professor Lilith, every single Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, organizes a multiplayer meetup for all the game cats out there. You guys, this is really one of the best communities in the world. And to be able to get out there and play games with you guys is awesome. It's always like a friendly time, and people always get along and help each other out. The best people you could possibly play with. So make sure you click the link in the description below, join our Discord, and get in on those Sunday multiplayer meetups. Even if you're not a multiplayer cat, it's cool, man. Neither was I. We'll take you by the hand. We'll pull you out of the multiplayer closet, and we'll tell you it'll all be okay. And we'll bake you some cookies. It'll be adorable. And also, while you're clicking links, make sure you click on the link in the description to join the Virtual Strangers YouTube channel. Subscribe there because, man, there's never enough PSVR2 coverage. I'll say that. But between me and you and AJ and Miles, I think we got this shit covered.
I think you're right.
We also got Matster Game Catster in the chat with the $20 tip. Says, "Hello, Brian, Wes, and fellow Game Cats. Nice Gran Turismo 7 review, Brian. I rolled 2 of my cars today. 7,000 plus miles in the game and never rolled before. Game gets better and better. I've never rolled a car either. So the fact that you rolled 2 today is kind of crazy. Wes, do you have an update for us on Gran Turismo? You said you pulled the racing rig out or racing wheel, and you're shaking your head. Is this going to be really disappointing?
Well, I've been very busy this week, and I haven't. That's kind of what I was alluding to earlier about. Today is my day. I get to play VR today. I've been busy lately. I took on a second job, so a lot of the time that I'm at home now, I'm working. And I've been very busy. It's been very difficult to find time to play VR, but I have not put my wheel away. It is still right behind me right now. and hooked up. It has remained hooked up this entire week. And I think since we're doing Quest Sports this week, I think next week we're going to roll back into some more of the first party stuff, and hopefully have some more time to put in the Gran Turismo, because I did really enjoy my time in it.
Here's something I didn't realize about getting that review out, which took like way too long. Generally, when I finish a review, that means I'm done playing and I have to move on to the next project and obsess over that game for 3 or 4 days or 5 days or whatever it is until I get the review out, and then I get to kind of put that up on the shelf and then obsess over a different game. And so whenever I did a review on PSVR1, that was me kind of saying, okay, I'm done with this game. I've said my piece. I can move on. And that terrifies me with Gran Turismo. I'm like, I'm have to consciously every morning wake up and say, I got to go do my dailies, man, because I want that lottery ticket. I want to make sure that I get the credit that I deserve. I want to make sure I'm still building my my credit so that I can buy whatever car that I want. And I just don't want to let this awesome game just fizzle out of my fizzle out of my vision. This is something I want to think about every day and play every day, and it's designed that way. And so I'm very much looking forward to getting back to it.
So think about this. Obviously, this game, Gran Turismo, is one of the reasons to own a PSVR2. And this has kind of always been the case with PlayStation VR. I mean, people can debate about this and that, this plus versus this minus with regard to the hardware. Nobody can dispute how awesome the first party and third party exclusive titles are. And this is one of those titles. But you just heard me say that hopefully I can find time to get into it this week. I'm starting Village this week. Like, I only played Village the one time initially for like an hour and a half. This week we're gonna switch our focus, and we're gonna probably cover Village next Wednesday on our show.
Wednesday.
Beyond that, Wednesday. Beyond that, Switchback's coming.
Duh.
Switchback is coming.
Damn, dude. Damn.
As our other titles. So I hope I find time to put in the Gran Turismo, because there's so many other cool things either here or getting ready to be here. I don't know, man. I'll just have to quit my real job, I think. The answer.
I mean, it worked for me. Yeah.
All right.
Somehow did not allow me any more time to play video games. I'm not sure what happened. Something horribly wrong went down. Unintended Studios with the $10 tip says, after 5 run-throughs of Village. Okay. All in VR? I think we need clarification on that, but either way, great. On to Pavlov. I can't stand it. This is not where I thought this tip was going. I can't stand it. I don't like the controls. Point-blank shooting is buggy. Movement is slow. I feel like I'm missing something great. Sell me on it. I'm not the guy to sell you on it. I've played a minimal amount of Pavlov. That is on my short list of reviews I've got to cover. AJ is the guy to talk to about it. Wes, are you a guy to talk to about this? Nope.
No, I haven't tried it on PlayStation VR2 yet. I have played it a limited amount. I own it on Steam. It was never my favorite game on Steam. Like, I think Contractors is better. Obviously, when you're talking about PlayStation games, Firewall's probably my favorite versus multiplayer shooter. But no, I never was a big fan of Pavlov, although I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, so I'm kind of surprised to hear a comment like this.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Like the amount that I've played was nothing but fun. It's just like, what kind of game do you want to play? It's very atypical for these types of shooters to have like these very creative multiplayer modes, and so I've been jumping in and being like having a blast. He's saying movement is slow. That's the part that's standing out to me. I can't remember. Like, I've played so many games recently, Wes, that certain things about each game are starting to meld together into the same thing. But I know that people in our community can help you. And I feel like Pavlov is one of the games that, like, you have to put your weapons down by your side if you want to run the fastest. But man, I probably should not even be guessing trying to help right now until I have all my ducks in a row on this one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, we're going to do one more tip, and then we're going to get on to our first news story. This one comes from Nihilist Ryan, the game feline, rare with a $5 tip, says, beat Horizon Call of the Mountain last night. What a blast. It just keeps getting better and better the further you get. Yeah, man, this is I agree with you. I think Horizon is a fantastic game. I think too many people kind of pigeonhole this one as a tech demo, just a climbing game, and it's so much more than that. I've really enjoyed this game. If it wasn't for all the other games I had to play, I'd probably go back and do it again, like immediately.
Agreed. Agreed. And what he said was true. It does build all the way to the end, and yeah, it's a masterpiece of a game. It really is.
Masterpiece, a masterpiece.
It's art, right? It's a very artistic game. So I feel that the term fits.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like if we got it on PSVR1, we would be like 10 out of 10, right? And now like that the bar's been raised with PSVR2 so much, I'm like 8.4. All right. All right, man. The first news story. Oh, dude, Discord. Discord finally, I'm sorry, PlayStation 5 finally got Discord integration in the form of voice chat support. This is interesting, right? This is a very small step forward into full Discord integration. Doesn't mean I'm not happy about it. It just means that like they are really taking baby steps toward getting this integrated on the PlayStation 5. But Wes, you and I were talking before the show, and you were kind of reminding me just how important this integration is. Now that I can pay attention and I'm not furiously trying to set up the show, can you tell me and all the cats why this is so important?
Multiple reasons. First of all, it's a failsafe, right? Mm-hmm. Because we've all had problems. Maybe we go into a PlayStation party or whatever the terminology is for that now. And we've had issues. We can hear some people. We can't hear some people. We decide to switch over to the in-game voice chat, and it's even worse. Buggy, doesn't sound good. Some people can't connect. Other people sound like they're muted when they're not muted. For what it's worth, when I hooked up last night with Eric and Roots and Demeo, it took us 20 minutes to get the voice chat like straight because we couldn't hear Eric. He could hear us. It took us a while to find out why and find the correct settings and get it all switched over. Discord, it's just you connect to it and it works. That has always been the case on PC. It very rarely ever goes down, and it always sounds great and works well. Now, beyond that, a specific use case where this is going to potentially be a game changer is with cross-platform play. If you're playing a game like After the Fall or Demeo with someone that is playing on PC, now you can all share voice chat outside of the confines of the game. You guys can, if the game crashes, you don't lose communication with people. It's just a lifeline, especially when you're trying to link up with multiple people in the same game on multiple platforms. It's a nice fail safe to have, and it has been a go-to for us in our community for a long time.
Yeah, I didn't really use it myself today. I did get it connected. I had to go through a very short process of disconnecting or unattaching or whatever the hell they call it, Discord. Or my PlayStation profile from my Discord app on my PC, and then going over to my PlayStation and going through a very small process there, and then going over to the Discord website and typing in a code, and then everything was great and it all worked. Now, I haven't sat in my PSVR2 headset and hung out in voice chat. I haven't done that yet. But what I have done is hung out with everybody else who was, I was on Discord and everybody else was using it on their PlayStation, and everybody sounded fantastic, and that was the important thing. So the quality is there. Everybody sounds good. Seems like it was working once everybody got it kind of set up. There's a few little hiccups that people had to get around, but it does seem like it's going to be a really, really helpful feature.
So I'm assuming that you still go to specific channels and use the voice channels from like the Without Parole Discord. We would use the voice channel from your Discord or the Virtual Strangers, but you can't view text.
Right.
Text channels, only voice channels.
And here's the worst part of it. It's only voice chat currently. The worst part is that you have to get into, and I don't know why this is. You have to get into the voice chat somewhere else on your phone, on your PC, and then you right click on the voice chat and it says transfer to PlayStation. It's like, so
Oh, really?
yeah, so they do make it like they do add this extra step that just seems so unnecessary.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
So again, it's like it's the smallest step. This is what I was saying. It's like the smallest step toward proper Discord integration on PlayStation 5, where it's like there's like an app that you just click a button and you're in. But you know what? It's like I'll take baby steps, because before this it was not even a baby step. So I'll take something over nothing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kill Artist 1, the Dreamweaver Game Cap, the $10 tip says, "Hey guys." Hey, Kill Artist. "I got my GT Omega Art cockpit in today for GT7. Going to assemble it after the show. So excited." Can you stream that? Because assembling this shit is just like the absolute worst. And it'll make me feel better to see someone else suffering. When I saw Miles suffer, like Miles went through the exact same process as me when he was setting up his rig. He got stuck at the exact same spot. He was like, why doesn't these two things go together? And I was like, I don't know. And it was just like, it's where the instructions just fucking stop, right? It's like, oh, we got a majority of this assembled. Now, how do you connect this to this? No one knows. No one knows. It's a mystery.
Nice. It's nice validation, right? When you see someone else struggle with the exact same thing. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm not stupid.
Like, I felt awful for him because I knew how I felt, right? It was hours and hours and hours of work. And then like you don't have your rig set up, right? And you want to get it done before you go to bed, because the last thing you want to do is have this one night project turn into a two-day project. But that's what I did. That's what he did. And for the love of God, Kill Artist, take tomorrow morning off, because you're going to need it. I don't think I read the rest of his tip. So excited. Also, I am one chapter away from beating Call of the Mountain. Loving my PSVR2. Dude, it's so nice seeing people who are loving their PSVR2, because I'm still whatever the target of people who are complaining. And it's like, oh, AJ's building one right now. This is fantastic. AJ says he's suffering while listening. Good luck.
Everyone's suffering while listening to us, Brian.
That's how the show works.
Yep.
Yeah. PSVR Gamescast Live. We talk, you suffer. That's our tagline.
For your oral suffering.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. I was gonna talk about people who are negative, and I don't feel like talking about negative people. So let's move on.
They've got enough time these last couple of weeks, right? They've said their piece. We've heard you.
Yep.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
Exactly. And if you're unhappy, you're still unhappy, then by all means, like, it's don't keep it, man. No one should ever keep a piece of technology or something that's supposed to be fun. It's called entertainment. If you're not being entertained, fucking get rid of it and find something that you're happy with, right? But don't fucking go around shitting on everybody's parade who is happy with it. Like, just come on, man. That's not what we do around here.
People are different. People need to recognize this. And it's not just with hardware, but it's with games and everything. People like different things. And because someone enjoys something that you don't, or you enjoy something that someone else doesn't, that doesn't make their joy any less valid. You know what I mean? I see this all the time in my community. We're like, this is how games should be, or this is how a headset should be. And if it's not that, then it's garbage. And it's just like, dude,
right?
We have a whole community here of people who obviously disagree with you. Are they all wrong? I guess not. Everybody's just different. That doesn't mean that these opinions are invalid. It just means that everyone has a different, reality is subjective, right? It's different for everyone. So, yeah.
I agree with you all the way up until the point you say where it doesn't make your opinion invalid. When you call something garbage that everyone else is loving, it's like, you can be like, this isn't for me. My eyes don't see what you guys are seeing. But and then it's either the best thing ever or it's fucking trash, right? These are the two options that gamers seem to embrace. And it's like, all right, man, well then, you do you. I'm going to keep, I'm going to live in my little bubble here. I was really worried that when PSVR 2 got here, this bubble was just going to get too goddamn big, and I was going to be like, well, I don't think I have anything to worry about. I like my bubble. It's a nice quiet bubble. And that bubble is where Starlight, the intergalactic game cat, lives with the €5. Says, really don't know why you need a phone for Discord on PlayStation. It works without it on my Xbox Series S. Thanks for the show. Exactly what I need right now. Thanks for the tip. It's exactly what I need right now. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand anything that PlayStation does, to be honest with you. And then we got, oh wait. Oh, it's Starlight again. Starlight, the intergalactic game cat with the €2 says, shout out to Synthriders, by the way. I'm so addicted. Multiplayer's here, man. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get it. I kind of waited. I didn't play the multiplayer for Synthriders on Quest or PC.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of waiting for it to come to PlayStation. Now here it is, and I haven't tried it yet. So we need to make this happen like pronto. Tiffany's been wanting me to play this game for 3 months or more. So I think we're going to have to make it happen.
All right. Cool. Well, I mean, make sure I'm there. Invite me. Although you invited me to Demeo last night at like, what time was that? Was that 3 a.m. or something?
It was like, I don't know, 1:30, something like that.
Okay. I didn't go to bed till like 4, so it was like in that mesh of just blurriness where I was like, I just need to get this review done so I don't hate myself in the morning.
So this is how it went, Brian. Like, and we'll talk more about this in detail later.
Okay.
We went in with three people and got destroyed quickly on the first board. It's like, man, it's tough with 3 people. We need to get a fourth. I'm like, you know what? Brian likes Demeo. Why don't we invite him? And you were busy, so we just went back in with 3 again. And the second time around, it was a much different experience. So yeah, it was good times.
Nice. Yeah, man. Every time I played Demeo, I've been happy. I've not walked away from Demeo. Ever. I mean, and this is talking about on the Quest 2 as well. I loved playing on the Quest 2. But I love it on PSVR2. It's all these little things. Like, I just love the haptics and the controllers. Just the little things like rolling your cursor over your deck of cards. Like it all just kind of it clicks and everything feels good. You zoom down and you look at the board close up and it looks really, really nice. I don't know, man. Like I am in love with Demeo. I've got to review this game soon just to give me an excuse to play a couple more games, capture more footage.
Super fun. You got to really watch your step in this game. Like, you really have to think about your moves, because if you just do what seems like the natural normal thing to do, you're going to die quickly.
Unless you're me.
You have to think about it's like a good microcosm for life, because you got to watch your step. You have to think about the repercussions that each move will have, or else you're going to die quickly.
Unless you're me and you surround yourself with amazing people, and they just take care of you all the time. You're right. This is a perfect analogy for life, because I go into Demeo and I fucking run around. I do stupid shit. I'm like waking up like little demons left and right in every single room, and everyone's like, Brian, and like they're like, don't worry, we'll clean it up. We'll clean up your mess. Which is,
wouldn't it be great?
Welcome to Without Parole.
Wouldn't it be great if we could have like a tank and a healer in our real life?
That would be pretty awesome. Snacks, please. The future is arrives. Dude, your name's too long. It doesn't even show up on my. Does it show up when I do this? Hold on. Here it is. Snacks, please. Is the future arrives? Game cat. $2 tip says, "Don't yuck my yum. Only persistence is my love." Oh, persistence. Oh, persistence.
Oh, that's so many jokes I can make about that right now, but I'm not going to.
Okay. I mean, you can. And of course, Andrew Bailey with the £2 says, "Hi, Tony. My mate and first time watcher." Oh, hi, Tony. Oh, Andrew Bailey wants me to say hi, Tony, which I did because he tricked me into it. But hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
I think that's what was going on there. What up, Andrew? All right, man. The next story comes to us from Skydance Interactive. This is this has been an ongoing saga, I think, and just when you thought it was over, it's not. And so here's the deal. If you guys didn't know, Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 is coming to PlayStation VR 2. A lot of us played it on PSVR 1 because it was one of the best games on PSVR 1. Despite me giving it a 10 out of 10, I didn't see my 10 out of 10 on that accolade screen, Wes.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we'd rather put a 9 out of 10 or this 8.7 out of 10 up here instead of Brian's 10 out of 10. But whatever, Skydance. Whatever. I'm not feeling the love. I get it. It's whatever. See what I give this game. No, Just kidding. So the deal was a little while back we had heard that if you own Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 on PSVR1, doesn't matter if you get the plus version or not, you're getting it on PSVR2, free upgrade. And that was kind of amazing. We're like, really? Because even Enhanced Games was like, no, like, $10 upgrade charge does not apply to Tetris Effect. If you got it on Plus, you got to rebuy that shit. And I forget what else. There was another Plus example that just escaped my mind. But then this trailer came out yesterday, and with all the information that we needed, the official word on this is now that if you own the standard edition on PSVR 1, the $40 version, and that is the Plus version, by the way, for everyone who owns that, the upgrade will be $10, and that'll upgrade you to the Tourist Edition with the bonus weapons or skins or whatever the hell that came with, and then you're entitled to the PSVR2 version. That's what the $10 is getting you. And if you already own the Tourist Edition, then you're getting the PSVR2 version for free. Wes, there's been a little bit of a pushback on this. People are upset, maybe not so much at the $10 charge, but the fact that they're kind of going back on their word. That's what people are calling it. So let's address that first. Do you think this was just there was some confusion at Skydance? Do you think they changed their mind? Do you think the wrong people were sending the messages out? What happened here? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And again, I wasn't aware that they had came right out and said that it would be a free upgrade for everybody to begin with. So maybe I heard that and forgot about it. But when I saw this news, I thought, you know what, that makes sense. A lot of people got this game for free, and it's a lot of work to upgrade a game, not just port it, but to upgrade it the way that they're claiming that they've done here. My whole thing with these upgrades has always been, don't make me buy the whole game again. Yep. And that's not what they're doing here. Yep. So, no, I think this is fine for me.
Yeah, I don't like the way that the message came out. The fact it does seem like they're kind of going back on the initial announcement that they made. But I'm sort of just over the whole thing. I've said it before. I got up on a real high horse there for a little while and was like, every upgrade should be free. They shouldn't be focused on the people they already got their money from. They should be focused on the people who haven't gotten money from yet, and charge those people for a new game, blah, 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 whatever, and embrace the love of the community who, embraced you to begin with. But I'm tired, man. I'm fucking tired. And this game is a 10 out of 10. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of the best VR games ever made. And so if they're going to charge me $10 to get this better than PC VR version on my PlayStation VR2, then so be it. The only thing I don't like about it is that it was the improper way that the message got across.
And speaking of which, they could have been a little bit better with their messaging in other ways too. First of all, importantly, can you tell me what we're getting for our $10 here, Brian? Because they're pretty general about some of it. Like they say, improved lighting, okay, check. Improved environments, check. We get it. Mm-hmm. Improved animations, all right. So it looks a lot better, or at least notably better. Uh-huh. But then they say improved gameplay. Have they elaborated on that, or is it just improved gameplay?
I'm going to go on a limb here, Wes. Don't you think that pushing an analog stick forward rather than holding a move button down and pointing and then pushing buttons to turn would constitute improved gameplay?
It would, but not to the point of I should pay for that. Like, yeah, that's stuff that gets handled by a port.
Right.
I'm talking about enhancements specifically. I want to hear them tell me that the adaptive triggers and advanced haptics are being used here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they are, but they didn't come right out and say that, which is what I thought weird. So I don't know, man. It's a little bit weird.
All right. So the final word on this is that if you don't like the $10 deal, totally understandable. Apparently it's on sale right now in some territories for $3. The upgrade purchase, whatever it is, the upgrade DLC. that you can get on the PlayStation Store. I checked on the PC Store and on my phone, and both of them were like not available. So maybe you have to go in on your PlayStation 5 in order to buy it, but it was on sale for like $3 or $4. And so it's a little bit of a workaround if you're able to do that. And so and if you don't like what they're doing, then just wait for that to go on sale where you live.
Did they do physical edition of the tourist version?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they only put out one physical edition. I think it was the tourist edition. I can. If my eyes were better, man, it's like it's right across the room, but I can't quite see what the spine label says.
It'd be worth looking into. That's my only point, because physical editions can be had at a pretty steep discount. You can find them used at GameStop and on Facebook Marketplace. So, I would suggest before. I mean, assuming, of course, that you don't have the game already, which I guess most people probably do because they gave it away, right? So, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. And somebody in the chat did point out that After the Fall physical edition apparently does not upgrade for free, which is craziness, man. Like, I don't.
Yeah, they specified that.
They did
up front that they weren't doing that. That's weird, man. That's some weirdness right there.
Yeah, that is some insane weirdness. I don't understand it. I mean, do you think it's my initial thought would be because you could just like give it to all your friends and then they'd be able to upgrade it, but just like I don't know, like you have to play, you have to use the disc when you play, and
yeah, exactly.
And so, can they not make the PSVR2 or PlayStation 5 version look for the disc when they play it? Is that the problem? I don't know.
Well, other studios have been able to do that, so it seems to me like maybe there's a fundamental misunderstanding on the part of Vertigo Games of how this works. You have to have that key every time you open the door. So, like, I don't get it. It's weird because if you're someone like me, I opted to go and pay the extra $100 to get the physical PS5, so that I didn't have to rebuy these games that I have physical copies of.
This is the exact reason. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Now I have to go and buy them again anyway. That's bullshit.
Yep. So, I mean, when you talk about misunderstandings and how other developers are able to do things, and how why can one studio do it and why can the studio not? Well, it's funny you bring that up, because the next story that we have on our list is from Free Lives, and Free Lives makes Gorn, and Gorn is coming to PlayStation VR 2. We can finally answer the question, when is Gorn coming out? Oh, shit, I think I got the wrong date here. Why do I keep doing this? I think it's May 16th, and I put March 16th in our run a show. I keep changing May to March. I don't know what's going on. Pretty sure it's May 16th. So
cementing infinite confusion about this date for the rest of time.
That's right. Right. When is Gorn coming out? I'm just going to change the title of the video to that. You're not going to get a free upgrade for Gorn if you bought it on PSVR 1. You're not going to get... there's no upgrade path. There's no upgrade charge that you can pay in order to bring this to PSVR 2. The official word from Free Lives is, quote, "Unfortunately, will not be a free upgrade. You will need to purchase the new PSVR 2 version, as it will be a whole new title." That's not an answer. That is not an answer. That is. I mean, are they not aware that Pistol Whip and After the Fall and Swordsman and, I mean, Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator and Mossbook 1 and 2, let's not talk about Mossbook 1 and 2. Those all came to PSVR 2, and those were new titles, but yet all of those except for Moss had an upgrade path.
I never get this. I never, ever, ever, ever understand this. Like, how much, like, they're doing this because they don't want to give their work away to people. But again, these are people who already bought your game. And how many of them could there possibly be anyway? Like, how many sales are you going to cause yourself from this negative press? Because everyone's going to tell you that you're assholes for doing this. And nobody's going to want to promote your game or help sell it. Also, that you could try to squeeze a few more dollars out of the few people that already gave you their money. Like it's just so antithetical to me. I don't understand it. I will never understand it.
Right. And the fact that you're bringing it to a new console, you're bringing it to a new headset. Think of all the new people who are going to be purchasing your game. If you there are so many defenders of this practice out there. I can't believe we're going through it again. There's so many defenders of this practice out there. I see it all the time in the comments. People trashing me, being like, oh, artists shouldn't get paid for their work. It's like, no, they already got paid for their work, and they will get paid for their new work when new people purchase it. And there's going to be way more people purchasing it this time around than even the last time around. So it's like, come on, man. Fucking.
Plus, it's not all black and white. It's not all black and white. You can charge $20 for an upgrade if you want. I mean, that's a little steep.
That's what Creed's doing.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, it's not all or nothing. You can forge a middle ground here, and I don't and get paid for the work that you put in, and still not screw everyone who's already get paid your full price for the game.
Agreed. I gotta say, I'm curious about Creed. Right, because this will be the first time we've seen a Survios game on PSVR2. They've obviously put a lot of energy and time into the Creed license. They're really I think they're really leaning heavily on this thing, and they've talked about how there's a lot of new content in the game, and so I'm very, very curious to see if it's going to be worth the $20 or $30 upgrade charge, depending on which route you take. Sorry, sirens on my end. And that's the thing, right? Is like, is Gorn going to have double the number of levels? Is it really a new title? Is it going to have double the number of weapons? Is it really a new title? I don't think so. Otherwise, it would be called Gorn 2.
If that turned out to be the case, I will publicly apologize. That's not happening. I'm sure it's not.
That's not happening, man. So I can't even think straight. There's so many sirens going on right now. All right, man. I'm going to get caught up on a couple things here and tackle a few tips. The first thing I want to get caught up on here is MRI Gamer in the chat said, Brian, the physical edition of Saints and Sinners is called the Complete Edition, which is the Taurus Edition and Meat Grinder Update. So it's everything together on one disc. Should be good. If you have the physical version, you should be good. Or is Skydance going to have to issue yet another? Be like, oh, well, we didn't mean the physical version too. They also said your saves will transfer, which is interesting. Because
that is very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because so do you have you put any time into Retribution Chapter 2?
Very little. I've played I don't know, 5 or 6 hours into the very beginning of the game. A lot of it just dicking around and testing things so that I could talk about it. I haven't really progressed the story hardly at all. It's just mainly just scavenging and playing with the weapons and stuff like that.
Were you able to transfer your save from Chapter 1 over?
No, because I didn't finish Chapter 1 on Quest.
Okay.
And the copy that they gave me was a Quest copy. I played this game primarily on PC. I put a fair amount of time into it on PlayStation as well. But when I finished the game and actually played deep into it, I was playing on Steam.
Okay. So I'm really curious to know exactly what transfers over. You start off Retribution and you're pretty much in the same place that you left Chapter 1 in, and it's like, well, man, is that chest going to be full of my stuff? Are all my collectibles going to be there? Is all my everything that I've crafted, is that all going to be there? Very, very curious to see what happens when I transfer the save over.
This was kind of crazy. Well, maybe it wasn't even. I was about to say I must have been playing the regular version, because I do remember coming into the bus and I took my backpack off. This wasn't for Chapter 2. This was for the Aftershocks. All right. So when I went in for Aftershocks, all my stuff's still here. I reached my backpack and it's got heads from notable characters in the game. Like, all right, here's May Benoit's head. Here's so-and-so's head. I've got 4 or 5 of them in there. But it doesn't occur to me that I have to put those on the weapon rack or in the chest. I just take them over to that shelf by the bed and just leave them there. Mm-hmm. And then when I go out to the mission and come back, all my head collection's gone. It was devastating.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I feel like
Yeah.
that didn't happen on PSVR1. I felt like you just leave shit wherever you wanted, and it was just always there.
Yeah, it was upsetting.
I imagine so. Wow. I got sirens out there. I got like a wall coming down over here. All right, let's move on. Kill Artist 1, the Dream Mover Game Cat with the $5 tip says, making my best friend come over to help me assemble the cockpit so I can share the suffering. LOL, isn't that what friends are for? I mean, that's what significant others are for. Mine helped me build mine. It was a very, very huge relationship test. Early in said relationship, we survived. I guess we're good. Yeah. So good luck with that. I hope you two are still friends after it's all said and done. GB with the $2 tip says, hey, Brian Paul. Hey, Wes. Hey, Cats. Hey, Tony. I like that.
Hello.
Everyone say hi to Tony. Andrew Bailey in the chat with the £2 says, thanks, Brian. Tony has now subscribed. He loves Gran Turismo 7. Well, I think everybody should love Gran Turismo 7. Alejandro D, Cat Allergic Game Cat with the $5 tip says, weird pricing. $49 for Saints and Sinners Chapter 2, but $59 for both versions. Only $10 for new players if you buy both. I paid $30 plus $10 now. Plus $10 now. I paid $30 plus $10 now, plus paying for the sequel.
Yeah, you did it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the deal is like, you know, gaming's always been the same way. Like, if you want a deal, don't ever buy stuff when it's new, right? But, I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, dude, you know, you did it wrong, like Wes just said. But yeah, the longer you wait, the cheaper shit is. But I do think that $50 or $60 for Chapter 1 and 2 on PSVR2 is one of the best deals in gaming coming up. That's fucking awesome. So
Yeah, it's very good.
sorry you're not able to take
the
advantage
same thing
of
about
it.
Moss. If you don't already have Moss, the pricing for Moss Book 1 and 2 is excellent. It's great.
Right. Meanwhile, $70 for both games prior when we got them at launch. Less enthralling.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Alejandro, sorry you don't get to take advantage of the deal. Asian Panda 510X with the $5 tip says, I just looked up The Walking Dead on the PlayStation Store and looked up add-on for The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Taurus, and it is only $3, so I just bought it now. There we go. Look at that, $3. We're screwing Skydance. Make it happen, everybody. That's what I'm changing the title of this video to. Screw Skydance. If anybody from Skydance is watching, hi, how's it going? How's your day going? we're obviously making it so much better right now. Wes, last week when we finished the show off and we had talked about Horizon Call of the Mountain, we had talked about, God, what was the other game that we had played last week? The Light Brigade. We were like, that was good, man. That was good. It was a great excuse to actually play some games and then sit here and talk about them on GAMESCAST. And so after last week's show ended, we decided right then and there what we were going to talk about on this week's show. And then, of course, I didn't play it until 3 hours before the show.
Same here. I did the exact same thing.
This is, I would ask you, I want to like set it up like it's a big reveal, but it was on the thumbnail. It's in the title of this video. We played Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge on PSVR2. Wes, you played this on Quest to completion, correct?
That is correct. Yes, I did. Recently, fairly recently, actually. Like I say recently, I probably mean 6 months ago, but relatively recently.
Now, I got to say, man, I wasn't looking forward to this game kind of at all. Like, to be honest with you, because I very seldom listen to other people's opinions, or I listen all the time, but I don't take them to heart because I only trust my own opinions, as everybody else should, right? It's like, find reviewers that you like. Most of the time you agree with them, but very seldom will you agree with anybody 100% of the time. And I'm very quickly learning not to listen to anybody, because I heard that this wasn't very good. I heard that Vader Immortal was the better of the two Quest Star Wars games. And dude, jumping in, I think I probably got about 3.5 hours in today. And this is a fucking game-ass game. Like this has actual gameplay mechanics. You run around, full locomotion. There's upgrades and weapons, and it's less of an experience. It's more of a full-fledged game. And immediately I was like, this is a lot of fun. Like what do you have any idea what those people were referring to when they were like, "Oh, Vader Immortal's the better game"?
No, I don't. And you never heard that from me. Like,
No.
uh, I liked Vader Immortal. I mean, I liked it as a Star Wars fan. Being, standing in the presence of Darth Vader was one of those wow moments
Yep.
early on in VR for me. But it wasn't really a game. I mean, it was an interactive experience with some gameplay elements at certain sections. But
Right.
this is a Star Wars game, a story-driven shooter game, and I guess some of the criticisms have been that it's kind of shallow in terms of gameplay. But hey, man, it's an arcade shooter that's story-driven, and with production values to match the gravity of the IP. This is a freaking Star Wars game, and you feel like you're in a Star Wars movie when you're playing this.
You know what I felt like I was in? This is so dumb. I hope I get the name of this game right. On PlayStation 1, there was a 2-disc Star Wars game called Rebel Assault 2, I believe.
Mm.
And it was mostly FMV, but they gave you control here and there. You could like duck out, you could like come out of cover real quick and pop out of cover and shoot your blaster at some stormtroopers across the way, and then you pop back into cover. But like you were controlling so little of the action. This is that game come to life in actual game format where you are in full control of the action. It was so funny seeing the enemies, and I'm not a Star Wars guy. That's the crazy part about this. I was enthralled by the entire experience, and I was like, I don't give a fuck about these characters whatsoever. I'm just loving being here. It felt like the same game, like but fully realized in a 3D world, in a fully realized world with full VR controls. Dude, I don't want to give up the ghost here, but like I'm having a really, really good time with this. And so when I look in the chat and I see the VR grid say the first 3 hours, the part that I played, are the least entertaining. It only gets better. I'm like, what am I in for, man? Like, am I just going through like first person shooter withdrawals? Is that why I'm enjoying this so much, or because the gunplay feels really good? And I realize all we have as far as first-person shooters go in VR is Pavlov right now, for PSVR2 at least. And so, like, maybe I was just like, I just desperately wanted one of these like single-player first-person shooter campaigns, and I was lucky because I got one.
No, it's pretty solid at the beginning, but what he says is true. It does get better. Now that isn't like consistent throughout, because it is there are sections of the game that are kind of standalone as you are being told tales from the Sleazel Sack, or whatever his name is, the bartender. You'll kind of play these little standalone mini quests as another character. And some of those are great, and some of them are not so great. But as far as like the main story arc that you're playing through in the game, that does continue to get better and better as the game goes on. And what originally was the DLC that got added in, or the other episode, is the superior of the two. But if you're liking this, then you're in for a treat, because it's going to get significantly better.
Nice. And I mean, I was absolutely thinking, of course, they leading up to launch, they were touting, oh, look how much better this looks. This is the ultimate version of the game, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whatever, it's still a Quest port. Like, it's going to look like a Quest port with maybe some better lighting, right? Maybe the lighting isn't baked in now. This looks like a full-fledged PSVR2 game. If I didn't know this was a Quest game prior, I wouldn't have known it was a Quest game. It looks really good, man. It has some weirdness here and there, like these. There's a lot of moments where you walk up to a cliff, and you just like look out at this like vast landscape ahead of you, and I'm pretty sure that's a JPEG. Like that's just flat. Which that was in Vader Immortal too. But so it's got these moments, and I do think that there's. I found myself squinting a little bit. I'm like, is this in? But then I would hold up my weapon to my face, and I was like, that is totally in focus. And so, like, anything that's not like within a foot of you, I don't know if it's just a resolution, or if they're doing like a depth of field thing, or what it is, but like, Is that what it is?
Yeah, because it's one of the first things you notice because they put you into the title screen and it has this going on, and my immediate reaction was, oh, here we go again, because I've noticed this in other games on PSVR2 that if you look at distant objects, it's a little bit soft. But then it occurred to me, it was the same way on Quest. Like this isn't like a PSVR2 thing. Um, the distant scenery was noticeably low res on Quest as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But to me, it does not detract. My concern was that this is a $50 game. I don't know how much time I'm going to get out of this. I don't know how much polish this is going to have. But as far as the overall look, I think it looks fantastic, and it's all just it is all just coupled with that like amazing orchestrated Star Wars music, and so everything you're doing feels epic. So just the experience, just like from top to bottom, so far at least, has felt very solid. Like that was a word that kept coming to mind while I was playing. I was like, this world feels solid. Like it does not feel like, just some polygons and shit that I'm running around on. Like this feels like a very solid world, and I think that some of that has to do with what you're seeing on the screen right now, like all these like kind of like VRAF moments where they let you use your tools, and you're like, I don't know, like you get this one universal tool, right? That's like kind of a like sort of this screwdriver type thing, and it's also like it emits electricity. It's sort of a
Blowtorch.
thank you, blowtorch. There's the word I was looking for. What did I say?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, so it's this multi-tool, and like you're constantly pulling that out and interacting with items, and it's and I don't know, man. Like they definitely got a lot of great VR elements in here, and like I don't know, yeah, just right here with the inventory that's being shown too. It's like it all just feels like it works really well. It's like I think a lot of thought and care was put into how you play this game, and that translates very well. It feels good to play.
That's the key here. It feels good to play because you're right. There's a noticeable improvement graphically over the Quest version, but it isn't profound. Like it looks a little better on PlayStation VR2,
Interesting.
especially when this was already one of the better looking Quest games, and they've just enhanced that even further. Where it really is noticeable for me is with the character models. They seem more lifelike now, whereas before they were just kind of like cartoony things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look these characters in the eyes and you kind of get that fleeting feeling for a moment, like this is an actual being in front of you that you're communicating with. But what really sets this version apart from the Quest version is how it feels to play it. They did such a great job with the haptics and triggers on this, and you've heard people talk about how every gun feels different, and that's kind of the one thing that really stuck out to them. That multi-tool, I think, is the best example of how the haptics are used well in this, because each function on it feels like it's supposed to. Like the screwdriver or ratcheting thing feels like a ratchet. The blowtorch feels like a blowtorch, and the electric thing feels like there's literal electricity crackling out of your controller. Yep. Very, very impressed that this new layer has been added into a game that was already pretty high in terms of production values. And this is definitely the best version of this game, by a fair margin.
It's funny, yeah. It's funny is there's actually quite a bit going on while you're doing this. It's you keep, for anyone who hasn't played the game or played the demo. Actually, you know what? Are you familiar with what the demo entails, Wes? Because I saw a few people in the chat wondering like what part did they play, and I have no idea.
I have no idea what's in the demo.
All right.
I really don't know, and it didn't occur to me to check. I don't know what they're playing.
Yeah, I can only assume that the demo is the same thing that the people who played back in September during that press event, what they played, which was like kind of what I'm showing here. So probably a lot of shooty stuff, and probably some of the stuff in the bar at the beginning of the game.
It would make sense. The opening scene before they roll the title sequence, that's enough to be a pretty effective demo. The part where you're on the ship and you
That's
haven't
true.
got out yet, like that would make sense to me, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a lot going on, man. With that multi-tool, you can you're taking, you have these like these orbs, these droids. I don't know what they call them in Star Wars, but you literally take them out of your inventory and you like throw them up into the air, and then depending on what they are, they're like fight for you or create shields or whatever. And you can have 3 of them going at once, and so you kind of like, even though it's a single player game, you've got this little kind of army that you can kind of roam around with, and as they get shot down, you can like find other ones, or they come to you when they're damaged, right? And they're like they're
Yeah,
sparking
love
and
it.
stuff. And then you got to do the Aspire 1 thing, right? You take your multi-tool out with the electricity and you bzzz until it's back to full health. And I was like, huh, that didn't work at all in Aspire, but it works perfectly here because it's one small thing that you're doing. It's one of the many, many things that you're doing throughout the course of this game, instead of being like shoot, 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 heal, 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 shoot, 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 heal, heal, heal. And for whatever reason, it works really well in this game. And yeah, all of the adaptive triggers, dude, shooting the weapons feels really good. I don't know if I'm gonna find more than like the 3 or 4 weapons that I've found, but like all of them so far just feel really impactful to shoot. I love them.
The weapons are what they are, but you can upgrade them, so they won't stay as they are. You can buy various upgrades and things for them, or maybe it's, I don't remember if you upgrade the weapons specifically or you upgrade your holsters. Like there are upgrades that you're going to buy after you get through the first chapter.
Yeah.
All of these droid parts and stuff that you're picking up, this all is going to be turned into money for you to buy upgrades with.
And that's what I love. I couldn't believe that. So I was picking up a lot of scrap, a lot of junk. It seemed like I felt like I was just grabbing loot all the time. A lot of it was health. A lot of it was just currency, and a lot of it, of course, were weapons. But yeah, that's what I couldn't believe when I got back to the kind of hub area, the bar. I couldn't believe that I was like, oh, I was. Can we talk about the jetpack in this game? Because
Yes, I think we should, because I think calling it a jetpack is, that's a pretty loose definition of a jetpack.
dude, it's the least cool jetpack I've ever used in any video game ever. It's just go gadget legs is all it is. It's like this game lets you crouch, stand back up, or stand up further. Like that. That's what the That's what the hover pack, jetpack, hover. Dude, why am I losing my brain today?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
But I will say this, that item is also upgradable.
Yes, and that's so. It was the least cool jetpack I'd ever used in my life, and then I upgraded it, and it became still very uncool, but but way more useful, right? And so you can so now, instead of using my go gadget legs once, I could use my go gadget legs twice, and also move with it, right? At the beginning, it was just kind of like, oh, now you can stand up higher and whatever. Here's what I don't like about this game. Why the fuck do you take a game like this that's like pretty VRAF? It's got these pretty awesome environments, great gunplay, and then say, we didn't give you a jump button. Like, you're forced to use the teleport button or teleport motion on the analog stick very frequently. Like, very frequently. I hate that. Like, why do games feel the need to do this when they could have just given you a jump button?
Ask Valve. They did the exact same thing in Half-Life Alyx.
I no longer want Half-Life Alyx. You heard it here. Brian doesn't care anymore. It's not true. I want Half-Life
I don't
Alyx.
know.
But this needs to stop.
Agreed. And there aren't a whole lot of games like this, but there are quite a few, and I never understood it either. I'm sure there's a technical reason for it, or maybe they're afraid of making people sick. I don't know. But there should be an option for it, at least.
There should be, because it was in Wanderer, right? And Wanderer felt really, really immersive until those very, very few moments where you had to do it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's I don't want to complain too much about it because really it's like once I started getting used to it, I was like, this is fine. This is whatever, like I'm finding ways to get around this world and I'm doing it quicker and more reliably than without this option. But it was still kind of irritating that it was there to begin with. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say next.
Song in the Smoke. Song in the Smoke did the same thing initially, but then they righted that wrong for PSVR2.
They did, but then they still didn't quite nail the climbing. It's like still look and do it.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Song in the Smoke, but I'm like, ooh, you were almost there to being perfect. How long should I expect this game to be? Because I think a lot of people are concerned about the $50 price tag. For the $50, dude, from what I've played, I was like, if the whole thing is this polished, if the whole thing looks this good, if the whole thing feels this good to play, and I'm having this much fun the whole time, then great. But how long should I expect to be having fun for?
I'd say 8 to 10 hours altogether.
Okay.
Of course, it depends on how much you would like to explore and find all the little trinkets. There's a lot of collectibles hidden in this game and in this world. And if you're like me, I don't want to let one of those get by me. So I'm very thorough when I play through a map. But I'd say if you don't worry about that stuff and you're just playing to progress the story, 8 hours, maybe 10.
Mr. Musicality, the game cat, says you can physically jump in Horizon Call of the Mountain. Oh, don't even make me have that conversation. You can only physically jump where they tell you can physically jump, which I also think is kind of bullshit for a game about climbing. Yeah. Okay, let's take care of a couple tips here. We got awesome. Oh no, this wasn't a tip, but it's on topic, so let's go for it. Awesome Tatum is asking about the dart game. What is up with the dart game, man? I played the dart game. I'm terrible at said dart game, but you were telling me that it's one of the best parts of this game.
Well, I got addicted to it when I played it on Quest. Like because there are achievements that are tied to what you score, multiple achievements.
Oh.
I don't know if those came over to PlayStation, but I imagine they probably did. So I chased that stuff for a while. I think the high score that they want you to get for the top achievement for it's something like 1200, which is, I mean, you got to be pretty good to get that. But I will say this: I'm much better at the darts on PlayStation than I was on Quest. I don't understand why, but I was just nailing it right off the top when I came to Quest, and it wasn't the case. Or I'm sorry, on PlayStation, and it wasn't quite the case on Quest. Like I was hitting me, I was very inconsistent on Quest, and that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, I played a little. I don't know, probably played about 10 rounds or so of darts. And, just kind of like doing darts the way that you would, just kind of like throwing them is not how you're going to get this. You kind of got to like line them up and shoot them super duper straight. Or just kind of let them go, really, right? Like they're rocket darts.
Yeah, you just let it go. You just aim and let go, and it flies itself.
Yeah. Well, I'm loving the upgrades, man. I will say, I say this about every time we talk about a game that has upgrades. It's always one of my favorite things. I was actually surprised at the beginning of the game that I like reached behind my back to try to put a weapon back there, because that's every game on the face of the planet, right? You can holster a couple weapons by your sides, and then you get a couple on your back, usually like the shotguns or whatever. And I couldn't do it. And I was like, this is really weird that I can't do this, right? And then I saw all the upgrades, and I was like, ooh, very nice. As you said with the jetpack. Yep. The jetpack upgrades are very nice as well. So it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff for a game that I really wasn't excited to play whatsoever because of the reputation it sort of had, at least with the people that I know. I've done a complete 180. This is a real blast to play, and I'll probably be reviewing it over the next week or two, man, because like I don't know, I've made some good progress today, and I can't wait to get back to it.
Yeah, I mean. It's hard to recommend at the price that it's at, but I mean, unless you're a Star Wars fan. If you're a Star Wars fan, I mean, it's almost priceless because I mean, they really spare no expense to kind of give you the full experience here in terms of, original story, beautiful graphically, and what really is super impressive to me that really kind of sets it off is the soundtrack. Like the music is, it's like it would be if you were in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, music is crazy impressive. All the sound effects are impressive. Everything. I mean, yep. All right, I'm going to stop gushing about this because it's great, man. It's great. The price is obviously worrying for a lot of people. Josh Zosky in the chat with a $2 tip says the price though, to quote Star Wars, ouch time. So,
yeah, it was a little steep.
So, which is I think it's what $10 more expensive than it was on Quest, and I don't know. I feel like if this was $40, Wes, don't you think it would be kind of like you got to get this kind of game? The difference between $40 and $50, I think, is a huge difference here. Like when you look at a $40 game, you know what to expect. I think this is what you expect for a $40 game. When you look at a $50 game, you expect something a little different. I don't know why that's kind of like ingrained in my head. Maybe I'm alone on that.
And plus, I will point out when I think about how expensive this is, I'm still thinking about like $2018 and not $2023. Like it's hard to kind of shake this idea of evaluating the cost of something now, and it's hard to remember that dollars aren't what they were just a couple of years ago. So, 50's the new 40, 60's the new 50, 70's the new 60. So
yeah.
If
50's the new 40, then yeah, I mean, like this is certainly blood and truth level quality of game as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, for sure.
We got Josh Cutler in the chat with the $2 tip. Says, does anyone know of good prescription lenses in the U.S.? Wes, are you familiar with any good prescription lenses for your VR headset?
No, I don't wear glasses, so I'm not like well versed on this subject. But I want to say Real Optics maybe is the one that there's a brand that everyone's pre-ordering. And if that's something that you're really interested in, hit me up on Discord and I'll find out what the brand is, because this is actually a fairly popular topic in our community. A lot of people buy these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to say Real Optics, but that's just off the top of my head. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've actually got got like at least 2, maybe 3 different manufacturers of these VR prescription lenses emailing me being like, hey, do you want to advertise these things? Do you want to do a review of these things? And I was like, I don't know what my prescription is. Like I used to have 20/20 vision like 6, 7, 8 years ago, and I just haven't been back to the optometrist. And so like I said, I can't see the Saints and Sinners box across the room, and if I squint, I can. So I probably need glasses. My problem is that like I haven't tried any of these prescription lenses. So when you're asking like what's the good one, I don't have an answer for you. I could name 3 different brands, but I couldn't tell you which one I recommend. But it does sound like maybe I should fucking try because I think I need glasses.
Brandon coming through with the confirmation. It is Real Optics, or one word, Real Optics.
Right on.
So.
Good. Elvert in the chat says, hit the like button if you like games.
Thank you, Spry Guy. And happy birthday.
Is Spry Guy's birthday?
It's always Spry Guy's birthday.
It's like everybody's birthday all the time. It's hard. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Like you never know. Like, is it really somebody's birthday? It's a weird running gag, but I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Andrew Bailey in the chat with the £2 says, I enjoyed the Star Wars demo. We'll buy it at £20. Hi, Tony. I hope Tony's getting a kick out of this because I kind of am. So.
You know how Tony's doing right now? Great. Sorry.
Because Tony's a tiger.
Right.
Very good stuff. I rolled over my headphone wire and now it's stuck in the roller of my desk chair. And I can't get it out.
That's not good.
And I'm sort of stuck like this until we fix it. So I think that might be our cue, Wes. I think it's time for 20 questions.
I think you're right.
Do you have a game picked out for today's 20 questions?
Indeed, I do. Invisible Brian.
I'm here. It's not going well though. Here, we're gonna take the chair with us. All right. Okay, guys, if you don't know how this works, I can't imagine you don't by now. Wes has a game picked out. It's either a PSVR1 game or a PSVR2 game, or God forbid, both. And you guys out in the chat and me right here have 6 minutes and only 20 yes or no questions to figure out what game it is. I'm going to put time on the screen right now. This is not going to go well. I need all the help I can possibly get because the only game I can think about right now is Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. So if it's not that, we're in big trouble. On your mark, Tez, go. Wes, is this game on or has it been announced for PSVR 2?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so we're going to call this a PSVR 1 game. Ian Marsh asks, is it a horror game?
No, I wouldn't call it a horror game, no.
Lame. All right, Move Master Mick. I'm going to take your suggestion and run with it. Is there a rhythm or fitness element to this game?
No, there isn't.
Neither one. Not rhythm or fitness. Okay. Be triple. Brandon asks, is it a puzzle game?
Yeah, I would say that this is probably best classed as a puzzle game, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Let's narrow that down. Is this a puzzle adventure?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I think that's 5, by the way.
Sounds right. Grumpy Williams is asking, do you fire guns in this game?
Oh, man. I don't remember firing a gun in this game. I guess it, man, do you? I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll keep thinking about that, but I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Looper's question. Are there any platforming elements?
Maybe some mild platforming in it, but I wouldn't consider this game to be a platformer.
Okay. Who asked about Mr. Musicale? He's asking about DualShock only. Can you play this game with moves?
I think you can, but that's just what I've been looking at since we started here is the info page on PlayStation, and it doesn't specify. So I'm reading through articles on Reddit. I think it does support move controllers.
Okay. I'm going to put moves ? My God. Do you do any time manipulation in this game?
That's a good question.
We got people asking about the invisible hours, so I just have to knock that one out.
It's not an overt time traveling game. I think there may be some time travel aspects to it, but it isn't something overt where you're thinking that, okay, this is what I'm doing. I would say that yes, there's probably some time travel here, but that's debatable.
Okay, it's not invisible hours then, because that would be a definite yes.
I'm AJing the fuck out of
You
this.
are
by the way.
AJing the
Someone has said
fuck out of this. But that was Sci-Fi Game Cat Henry's question, by the way, about time manipulation. Oh God, who asked? Somebody asked, and it's a great question. Is it based on a known IP, and that IP could be other video games, movies, anything?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, it's a one-off.
That's 10.
Has this developer made other PSVR games?
I don't think so, man. I think this is the only one.
I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. Is there... Let's see. Oh, Brendan asked a good question. Is it only on PSVR? Is it an exclusive?
It is not.
Oh, shit. Okay. Full locomotion?
I thought so. I thought so. I think it might have gotten added in because I'm thinking that it's full locomotion, but I'm reading things online that say that it's not. So it must not have been at
I have so many question marks. Is it full locomotion? We think so. Does it use moves? We think so. Is there time travel? I got 30 seconds. I'll take it to stop. Did I review this game, Wes?
Did you what?
Did I review this game on Without Parole?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you did. That's 13.
God, I'm in so much trouble right now.
In fact, never mind. I'll tell you that this in a minute.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away.
Does it have a cartoony art style?
I would call it realistic. So no.
Realistic art style. Oh my God. Holy shit, dude. How do I know?
Let's disregard the clock because I've chewed up most of it here. That's my fault.
I'm so lost, you guys.
You have 6 questions, and one of them would turn it around pretty quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you ask the right question.
That's how this always works. You just have to ask the right questions. All right, I'll take you up on your offer to keep going here.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it first person?
It is first person. That's 15.
Can you drive a vehicle? Ask Mountain Man Gaming.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda. Not. I mean, it's not like there are parts where you kind of drive something.
Wow, I'm so lost. Okay, a lot of people are asking about Zing. Was this made by White Lotus?
No.
Okay, there goes Zing. We're in trouble. Mark Pringlesleaf asked if you can play this game on the flat screen.
You can. 17.
You can?
Yes.
Oh, God. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. So Scott Jessico is saying the only game that I can possibly think of. And so I'm just going to, this is my guess because we are way over time at this point. Is it Kona?
It is not Kona.
Wes, what game could this possibly be?
Okay, so first of all, I was pretty sure that this was a full locomotion game because that's how I played it on Steam. But I'm looking at a Reddit post that says the game in question for PSVR only has teleportation and quick turn. And as I read down this Reddit post, I see a comment here from a Mr. Brian Paul, or as he's called on here. Where did it go? That would be dark.
I know that guy.
I'd appreciate a pro patch too. For me, the immersion is currently non-existent. Everything looks flat.
Oh my God.
2D images.
Oh my God.
Similar to ArcPart.
Oh my God. Does it have... Is it Abduction?
It is Abduction.
Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. Dude, I think someone said Abduction like way long earlier in the way earlier. Did you see anybody guess it super early?
I was actually reading Reddit and Google the whole time. I wasn't even looking at the chat.
It is teleportation only. That is absolutely for sure.
It is?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
man?
and here's the worst part about this is that it was definitely blurry, and it still was even after they patched it with like supposed improvement graphics. Don't listen to anyone who tells you it looks good. It looks like fucking garbage. and so you teleport forward, teleport forward, teleport forward, and that's all within like 3 seconds, like boom, 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 and then you'd hit like then it would go to a black loading screen.
Yeah.
Right, for like 2 or 3 seconds, and you teleport, black loading screen. Like you could just tell that they struggled so hard getting this into VR. And the worst part is, Wes, this is a good game. This is
it's great on Steam in VR. It's great on Steam. It's beautiful. Like since they updated it, like not before they updated it, but when that update came out, it fixed it and made it into a good VR game. Although there are still some flat elements, but push button mechanics and things still in it.
Yeah.
But the graphics are good. The locomotion's good. It's a great game. I guess it was a lot worse on PSVR, huh?
Oh my God. So like, yeah, you could play it, but like, why? Like, why would you? It was rough, man.
Anyway,
it was rough.
I chose this game because today we got a release date on PC
for Firmament.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the release date on PC?
2 months. 2 months. Mid-May.
Okay. And they promised Firmament to be coming to PSVR2. So
yeah, they said that there would be news about the releases on other platforms soon thereafter. So
nice. Yeah.
I have a feeling that this is coming probably to PSVR2 before the end of the summer, I would say.
Nice. Yeah, if you guys don't know like why we'd be excited about this, the developer Cyan Worlds, these are the people who made Myst, or in Riven, and obviously Abduction that we just talked about. Like these are some like classic adventure puzzle games. That's why I was so disappointed when Abduction wasn't good on PSVR1, because we'd been looking forward to it for so long, and then we got in and we were like, oh, teleportation only. Oh, it looks awful. Oh, and I do think it has move support, Wes. I think the move controller functions the exact same as the DualShock does. It's just like, here's your hand in the game. You just kind of move it around like that. If I remember correctly, it's been a while. But yeah, everything about it was everything about it was kind of a mess. So hopefully
that game deserves a remake. And you know what? It's the way that this studio works, it could very well one day get a remake because that's kind of what they do. So
didn't they just bring Myst into VR recently?
Yeah, and then it got a very significant update that made it a little more VR AF, and the graphics upgrade, and they continue to release it's like Myst has had more releases than Skyrim has by a fair amount. So like, yes.
Yeah. Nice. Well, let's hope we get all those games on PSVR 2 because they deserve to be on the best. No, I'm just kidding. Best PSVR, best headset, best VR headset. You know what?
It's the best PSVR that I've ever.
It's the best PSVR headset so far.
Yeah.
Wes, what's happening over there on Virtual Strangers tonight? Why should people click the link in the description below and subscribe right now?
Well, again, last week was all about the first party exclusive stuff. This week we're taking a look at ports. Well, I'll tell you what, a real good reason they should go over there is because my co-host Eric is giving a PSVR 2 away. And if you want to get that link, you should at least hit us up on Discord. Or you can just tune into the show and we'll have the link right down there in the description for you. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about Demeo tonight, how it compares to other versions. We're gonna be talking about Runner, which has some specific PSVR 2 features that you can't get on any other platform, and we're gonna be talking about ports this week.
We're talking about ports. We're gonna be talking about the best way to play all of these games.
You're here.
Wes, thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Don't forget that if you like these kind of conversations and you want to be part of these conversations happen 24/7 over on our Discord. So click the link in the description below and come join us over there. Thanks to everybody who donated during the show. Thanks to everybody who supports this channel financially. Thanks to everybody who helped me out on 20 questions. Thank you to everybody who sat back and watched the show and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. Happy West Day, Wes.
Happy West Day, Brian.
I gotta go figure out this Discord integration.
Yeah.
I love that I put it in the thumbnail, in the title, and I'm like, I just got to rely on everybody else who did it. Sounds like it went pretty well. Cool, man.
We've been waiting on this for a long time. Like this Discord thing,
Yeah.
we've been waiting on it for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for it, even if it is limited. It is kind of weird. You have to go onto another device to use it. Like that's a little strange. Hopefully they get that straightened out pretty soon.
It's all a little strange, man. So Sony's never done anything the way you'd expect them to, but give them another 3 or 4 years, they'll figure this shit out. Maybe they'll.
You're right.
I mean, it took them like an entire generation or longer to let us figure out how to let us change our usernames. It's like, you know how many people were stuck with like Bong Ripa 420 XX1907 for like years? At least 1,907 of them, man.
And then when they fixed it, you know, in quotation marks, fixed it, there were certain games that it just completely broke. Like it didn't work in everything.
God, it's ridiculous. All right, man. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We love you so much. Good night.